Yo, it's Two Side Anime here, and today we have a lot to talk about. One of my favorite series has finally come to an end. I've seen a lot of controversy when it comes to the ending of a lot of shonen series, like Attack on Titans, and most recently, My Hero. A series like this that have such a short run, but to stir up so much controversy because of the ending just shows you how popular this series was. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm talking about the series Jujutsu Kaisen. No matter what social media platform that you're on, if it's Twitter, TikTok, or even threads on Instagram, everybody is going through the 5 stages of grief when it comes to talking about the ending of Jujutsu Kaisen. And no, I don't feel like the ending was perfect, and I honestly feel like it would be hard for any writer to end a series like Jujutsu Kaisen in only 270 pages, I think. There were still so many plot points that needed to be addressed. Give the audience a sense of a fulfilling ending. So yes, I agree the ending was rushed, but the ending was rushed because of Gege's health condition. It was no secret throughout the serialization of Jujutsu Kaisen, Gege was struggling with his health. And I think at this point, they were pushing him so hard that there was no way for Gege to get better or rehabilitate himself while still working on Jujutsu Kaisen. That's why he probably had to wrap it up so quick. It's sad, but I'd rather have him healthy and come back if he wants to do a Jujutsu Kaisen part 2, because it's still possible, or work on his new series. Possibility of a part 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen is very likely. You have to remember, Jujutsu Kaisen was selling millions of copies non-stop, back to back. And shonen really doesn't have that many series that can bring in that type of revenue. So I really don't blame Gege. I really blame shonen as a company. They overwork these writers, and it's actually ridiculous. I'm taking this back to the main point I made at the beginning of the video, that Gege skipped over a lot of plot points that needed to be addressed before we can just end the series. And there's two. One isn't really that important, but the second one really is, and this one is bothering me. I want to give Jujutsu Kaisen an 8 out of 10, but I'm kind of stuck at the 6.5 rating out of 10 for this series. And don't jump me in the comments. I'm going to reread everything from start to finish and see how I feel about the whole thing, but let's just jump into it. No, it's theory time. Just let me cook, bro. First plot point that I deem not that important, but still kind of bothered me. The way it seems in the series is they defeated Sukuna and now everything is okay. That's simply not the case. If you remember, all throughout the Culling game, the citizens of Japan were running into cursed spirits and evil cursed users. Just think about when Yuta had to jump in and save the people from that angry cockroach. Think of how many citizens saw this and experienced this issue. You have to remember, Kenjaku stated, when a non-sorcerer is stuck in a life or death situation, a little bit of cursed energy sparks up and they're able to seize cursed spirits. That's how the US Army was able to see the cursed spirits that are running rampage. And that now that the majority of Japan has been exposed to cursed spirits, that means that there will be an increase of fear of these cursed spirits, generating more cursed spirits. In the grand scheme of things, and the power levels of the remaining sorcerers, I don't think that's really a big deal, but still, what happens when Tegan's barriers breaks and this cursed energy and cursed spirits spread throughout the world? My biggest issue with the ending of Jujutsu Kaisen is everybody has forgotten that Kenjaku started a world war, or planted the seeds for a world war, and no one is talking about it, and it's really making me mad. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let's head over to chapter 136, the ending of the Shibuya arc. And yes, we're using the TCB translation. I'm not using the John Weary stuff no more. His translation is just woke nonsense. In chapter 136, Yuki states that would mean Japan has a virtual monopoly of cursed energy, a certain superpower, and the blank would not remain silent. Flesh and blood human beings are the energy source, so you can easily imagine the suffering that would result. That is a world far removed from the ideal that I pursue. The world of Jujutsu Kaisen, you have superhumans that are stronger than nuclear weapons. You can see how this type of power can cause tension within the world affairs. But Gege took it a step further by allowing Kenjaku to meet with other superpowers during the Culling games and introduce him to the secret world of Jujutsu Kaisen. Kenjaku traveled to the US and told him everything they needed to know about Jujutsu sorcery, how to hunt sorcerers, the type of power, and even introduced and name-dropped Gojo, a man that can power a whole nation by himself. What happened next? The US sent a secret group of soldiers to infiltrate Japan and captured these sorcerers and used them as lab rats. We don't know what happened to these soldiers, but we can kind of guess they all got slaughtered during the culling games. But what if they made it out with at least one sorcerer? What does that mean? That means war. There's no way humans and sorcerers can coexist now, because these superpowers are going to ask Japan to hand over any sorcerer so they can benefit the world. But at the end of the day, these sorcerers are still humans and they have emotions, and they're going to rebel against these requests, which is ultimately going to lead into a war. If you need more proof outside of the fact that we see Kenjaku literally tell a whole superpower about sorcerers and they invaded the culling games, or Yuki stating what would happen if the world found out about sorcerers, there's another panel of Kenjaku going to another superpower, and I'm pretty sure he did exactly what he did when he went to the other country, telling them about curse users and curse energy. So the cat is out of the bag. You get it? Gege, cat out the bag? No? Alright.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Never mind. But you get what I'm trying to say. This was absolutely one of my favorite plot points that were introduced during the culling games. It gave Attack on Titan vibes. You remember in Attack on Titans how everybody on the island was viewed as devils and the whole world hated them? That's how it's going to play out in JJK with the sorcerer's world. You can look at this plot point in two ways. This can be a confirmation that there will be a part 2 to Jujutsu Kaisen, or Gege just forgot about it and that's it. Sukuna died, happy ending. Ending just doesn't feel earned. So that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'm out.